What's up, guys and girls? Just wanted to make a quick video of my homemade Ammo Can Bluetooth BoomBox, completely wireless. This one took me a couple days to build, having to wait for parts, and it was actually pretty simple. And I'll give you a quick tour. So these are some Scosche speakers that I just got from Walmart. I think they were like $25, 4.5, 3 ways. Not the greatest speakers, but they sound pretty good for this application right here. So this is the front, and then on the top I wired in volume buttons to the amp, and I'll get to that in a second. And then on this side, this is where I was going to use a LaPi 2020 A Plus amp. I think with me taking it apart and wiring it and putting it through the box, I somehow damaged the amp itself because it stopped working. So I had to throw that in the trash. Good job it was only 20 bucks, so it wasn't a complete waste. I have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is auxiliary in and out, so you can hook up external speakers to this and it will still run the front speakers as well as your other speakers. Got my on-off switch, a couple dollars from Radio Shack. On the back, nabbed this from work, which was kind of cool. And then down here, this is the, come on focus, there you go, 2.1 by 5.5mm charging jack, so I can charge the battery without having to hook it up externally or take it out. And that's nothing on this side. On the top right here, there will be a voltmeter with a readout. I don't know whether to put it here on the side. It depends if I can fit another button right here as well as the voltmeter. But we'll get to that whenever it gets here. It should be here tomorrow, so I'll probably do an update on that one. And so that's the outside. The Ammo Can was $15 at Dick's Sporting Goods. It was actually on sale, originally 20 bucks. Alright, let's take a look on the inside. So right here I have a 12 volt 7 amp hour battery, got from Radio Shack. And over here, this is my 3.5mm jack, and down there I believe is the charging jack. On off switch. The amp I have in here I believe is a TDA 7294 integrated Bluetooth 4.0. It has the volume buttons on the amp itself. Maybe I can open it up and you can see the amp. So the amp in there itself, it does have play, next, back, volume up and down. And if you can see down there, I had to wire in to the volume buttons, which these just run around the box. Eventually this will be zip tied, so it's a lot tidier, but for now I use some Dean's plugs. One of these is male, the other is female, so whenever I take the lid off for whatever reason, I don't have to worry about remembering which is which. I just hook them up and they'll be the right ones. Wiring this up was fairly easy. just had to do a little bit of research online, watched a lot of videos, to be honest, probably more than I needed to. This is the auxiliary in and out. This got from Radio Shack, and this lead, which goes to the 3.5 jack, I already had. All in all, I probably spent $120, $140. If you're patient, like I'm not, you can build it for a lot cheaper. If you can order parts on eBay. I don't have the patience, so I went and got most of them here in town. The amp I got from eBay, which was, I think it was about $16, about $18 after shipping. Came pretty quick. The one I ordered didn't have the auxiliary jack and the on-off button, but the one that came in the mail had the auxiliary jack and the on-off button. So I don't know if that was a mistake on the shipper or what have you, but hey, I'm not complaining. I kind of made the mistake and realized it after I'd already ordered it, but got lucky. And those blue tabs right there, those are the ones that go to the charging jack. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm still debating whether to put a port in it to help with the sound, maybe a little bit. We'll see how that goes. This ammo can has this rubber seal all the way around the edge, so it makes a pretty good seal once it's closed up. And I didn't know how I was going to mount the amp, but going through my old RC parts, and I found this Shorty's skateboard bolt container and the amp fits perfectly in there. Just had to make a couple notches for the speaker mounts and the power jack, headphone jack, and then the wires for the volume control. So yeah, there we go. So let this get a better view. I soldered the wires to the speakers. I could have used the detachable mounts, but I figured why not just solder it. I had some Dynamat left, so I put this behind the speakers, so there's I believe one layer across here and then a strip down the middle. So yeah, I'm really happy how it came out. Eventually I will try and put Dynamat around the whole thing, or maybe some extra foam, kind of like this, that I can get from work, or on the lid right here. And yeah, so there we go. Came out pretty good. I had to put some little rubber feeties right here, so when this is down, when it's on, it was vibrating. It still kind of vibrates in here a little bit, but it's nothing bad that is really noticeable. So for the most part, it's good. And then I put the rubber feet on the bottom as well. So there we go. I have a schematic of the wiring that I'll show you right now. I'm no electrician or artist, so it's not to scale or to size. It's just meant to give a basic showing of how I wired mine up. I'll grab that right now. So here's the wiring schematic. Again, I'm no electrician, so forgive me. It's not to scale or to size, just a basic breakdown of how I wired everything. So on the top left, right here, you got your battery, positive, negative, your switch, positive, negative, and the load. Your amp down here has your speaker connections plus a 12 volt input, and then your speakers right here. So positive from the battery, goes to the positive of the switch. This is the way mine is wired: positive on one side, negative on one side, and load in the middle. Your switch may be wired different, so you'd have to see how yours is wired. So the positive comes from the battery into the switch. The negative comes from the negative in the battery, goes negative to the switch, as well as the negative of the 2.1 by 5.5 millimeter jack on the amp itself. Normally the outside of the plug is the negative, the inside is the positive. That's how this amp is. So positive and negative to the battery, negative to the amp as well, and then from to the switch, battery to the switch, and then from the switch the load wire goes to the positive of the amp. So when you flip the switch, it will take the power from here and then run it this way to the amp. So the amp does its thing, and then you have your positive and negative. On this amp, the negatives are the inside, positives are the outside, and then you would just run those to your speakers. I didn't show how to wire up the volume. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. It is very tedious because it's very small in there. The batteries are only maybe a quarter of an inch, if that. So you can see the buttons for the volume, they're only about that big, and the tabs on the sides are tiny, so you have to solder the wires onto those little tabs and try not to short everything out like I did on one of the plugs. So if that one of the plugs is touching anything else on the board, it turns off the Bluetooth. So I had to figure out which wire was touching where, unsolder it and resolder it again. It was fairly easy to wire these up. I have some soldering experience. You just need a fine tip. Definitely use some flux, and I used the thin solder. I thought that worked a lot easier, and yeah, I'd say I definitely recommend giving this a go. It was a lot of fun. It works pretty good, and let me get some test music and you can hear what it sounds like. So let's do a sound test of the Ammo Can Bluetooth speaker BoomBox. And I have it paired to the tablet right now with the Bluetooth. As you can see, the Bluetooth is on right there. And I'll show you inside. So when the Bluetooth is connected, you get this flashing light. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn it off. Because when you turn it on, there's this kind of loud beeping noise. So you can see the Bluetooth thing has gone off on the tablet, if it'll focus. So let's turn it on. That's the beeping. So once it's connected to some kind of Bluetooth, that's when you get your Bluetooth logo on right there. So I'm just going to play a short clip because I'm playing it through Pandora. I can find a decent kind of sound clip. So I'm going to go with Bass Hunter. And let's see what the volume is on this. So the volume is halfway right now on the tablet.
Boy meets girl, you were my dream my world, but I was blind. You cheated on me from behind, so on.
All the way up.
I feel so all alone, though I know it's true. I'm still in love with you.
Once it gets to full volume, these are high pitch.
I wanna be your girl. Give me a chance to see that you are made for me. I need a miracle. Please let me see your girl. One day you see it can happen to me.
So from over here, I think that sounds pretty good for being a little 4-inch speakers. Let's go. Like I said, the battery I have in here is a 12 volt 7 amp hour battery. I don't know how long it will last before it needs to be charged. I've watched a couple videos online, and some people say they get 8 hours. One guy said he got about 40 hours on and off for a couple days. So I haven't charged it yet, and I've been running it for a couple days here and there, just a little bit. So once I have the voltmeter, I'll be able to judge more how it lasts. This amp will work on, I believe, 9 volts up to 24 volts. So the battery can get down to 9 volts in theory. I probably won't let it get down that low, just so I can make the battery last longer, keep it charged. I do recommend bits of foam like this wherever possible, just to kind of stop things rattling around. Yes, so like, comment, give me some tips, ask some questions down there, and see you next time.